Our beloved dinosaur that belongs to the caveman named Spear, Fang, is known as a T-Rex. I mean, there's a million other things that she could be, but everyone thinks that she's a T-Rex. The red theropods that attacked Spear's family and also attacked Fang's babies and killed them is known as an alpha T-Rex. We know that T-Rexes don't have horns. We have other animals like Ceratosaurus, this is our theropods that have horns, but why is this creature called an alpha T-Rex? Just to be sure, I don't know if the official name for them is an alpha T-Rex, but it's pretty clear that there are some similarities between Fang and these theropods, with the exception of their coloring and their horns. From what I've read in their wiki, it says this: the alpha Tyrannosaurus was a giant horned Tyrannosaurus the size of a sauropod that was the leader of the Tyrannosaurus pack. It was one of the first antagonists in the series, as well as the one responsible for killing Spear and Fang's families. Like the other Tyrannosaurs in its pack, the alpha Tyrannosaurus differed in appearance from Fang, although the two are apparently T-Rexes. Its most notable characteristics were its red skin coupled with dark red stripes, horned snout, and its unusual size, which rivaled a sauropod and dwarfed the other Tyrannosaurs from its pack. This gave the monstrous theropod a somewhat dragon-like appearance. It's very possible that Fang and these Tyrannosaurs are cousins in much the same way tigers are to lions. It might be even possible that they can breed with each other. One of my thoughts was maybe the red Tyrannosaurs are the male version of the species, because you don't see any other Tyrannosaurs but Fang that looks the way that she does. Yeah, generally, based on what we've seen of dinosaur culture, it seems as though the females are bigger, but in this case, it seems like the males are bigger, just going off what I've seen with the sauropods. I mean, that's always been the long-standing thing. Many years ago, there were scientific researches that suggested that female T-Rexes are bigger than the males, but based on ScienceAlert.com, it said this was based on records from 25 broken specimens, and their results show this level of data just isn't good enough to be able to make this conclusion. They also added that in modern dinosaurs, or the descendants of dinosaurs, birds, like hummingbirds and birds of prey, they do have reverse sexual dimorphism, which means that the females are larger than the males. There are multiple hypotheses on why that might be, including that being larger helps the females to produce more eggs. But there are other bird species where the males are clearly larger. One example of this are roosters. And with dinosaurs being so large, I don't know if they fall into K-selected species or R-selected species. It's very possible that they would fall into K-selective species. I could see something like a velociraptor or even a Deinonychus having the females be larger, but something like an Allosaurus or Diplodocus where the males would have to be larger so they can adequately protect the females and the offspring. As it stands, with the limited amount of fossils that they have on dinosaurs and the different species in general, it's very hard to even tell apart males from females. They just don't have enough data. And with bird species differing with their dimorphism, it stands to reason that the same might happen for dinosaurs. That means that it is possible that the red Tyrannosaurs could be the male counterparts to Fang. If that's the case, you may be wondering why they're so freaking big. I think that the Tyrannosaurs that attacked Spear and his family and that Fang initially was fighting off to protect her children probably were normal size. They were probably around her age. Who knows? Fang may keep growing. They may be like reptiles where they just keep growing until they get too big or too old. It's possible that that big alpha T-Rex that we saw that Spear ended up killing was a very, very old male, and those three were his sons. I know one of them is missing, but Fang may very well grow to be that size, maybe a little bit smaller, being the female counterpart. They look way too alike. Also, you consider that Fang also has that weird growth. Yeah, it could be a fluke, but the inverted teeth seems to be something normal with those dinosaurs. I also noticed how those red T-Rexes aimed for Fang's children. Even when she was fighting them, they weren't really interested in her. They were like, go away, move out the way. Let's eat these little things. Could be because their predatory instinct wants to go after something that is more easily accessible or easy to kill, or in that specific situation, even though it mimics Spear's situation with his family, that was just their way of getting rid of the opposition. It could be that those were Fang's little girls, but they were not their offspring. So they're like, you know what? Those don't smell like our babies. How dare you mate with someone on the outside? That would be able to answer the question as to what happened to Fang's mate. He's probably one of those dinosaurs. Or, like I said before, they could be a different species and just mildly related. I think I like the fact that there are male versions though, that the red are male versions. They're more vibrant, more aggressive, while the darker green version is more docile and motherly, which is Fang. I really would find it easy to believe that Fang is the female counterpart to those males. Also, it's not unheard of animals, even though they sire the offspring of that female, to slaughter their own offspring. Bears do this all the time. Even some dogs, feral dogs, will do this. I watched a very heartbreaking video the other day of a male dog who sired a puppy and then tried to kill it. It's why mother dogs have that innate maternal protectiveness to keep the puppies from the father until they're a certain age. That's because there are cases, for whatever reason, where domestic dogs and that are fathers of those puppies will kill those puppies, even if it's theirs. It is possible that Fang bred with one of those males and hid away from them to have her babies. It might be even possible that she was part of that pack. You have ducks that will gang up on a female to take it from them against their will. You know what the word is for that. There are packs of feral dogs that will follow a female dog in heat for a while, fighting over each other to get a chance to mate with the female. Seals will do it. Wild stallions will do it. They'll band. Even cheetahs and lions will do the same thing, where they'll band together. A male group either will team up with their father, or brothers will team up and then attempt to kill another male, or just find a lonely female and then take turns with her. Doesn't matter, because they're all brothers or they're related to each other, whether the relation is father to son, brother to brother. Those males will take turns and they'll be fine with it because it's all their genes anyway. May the strongest one win, and it doesn't matter because we all win anyway because it's our genes. Go look it up. It happens all the time in cheetah, lion, and seal communities. And they're very aggressive towards the females as well. Same thing with stallions. And it's always usually a band of males. This might be the case with Primal. These 3 male T-Rexes banded together with their pops, going around and feeding on what they can, finding lonely females, and then breeding with them. But this is just a theory. What do you guys think? Do you think Fang's mate is still out there somewhere, or maybe they took care of him? You know what I mean? Or do you think that those red T-Rexes with the horns are just the male counterparts to whatever Fang is? Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.